All right, everyone, welcome back to Monday's episode of the Z-Watch Show. Today we're just going to talk a little ball. We're just going to talk what happened during the weekend, college football, especially Michigan football. Michigan football is so back. It is so back. I'm about an 8 out of 10 excited, while I was a 3 out of 10 excited last week. But Michigan football is back. The entire state, NFL, college football. But yeah, let's get into this weekend talk.
It's time for the Z-Watch Show. It's the Z-Watch Show. It's the Z-Watch Show. Man, this guy knows ball. He knows everything. It's time for the Z-Watch Show.
Here we go, boys. Michigan football's back. Come on. To the victors and we'll hail. To the victors and we'll hail. Hail to Michigan, the champions of the world. Come on! Michigan football is so fucking back, baby. This is huge. This is what I want to talk about first. Not only is Michigan football back in the NFL and in college football with the Detroit Lions absolutely murdering the Chicago Bears in the get right game, but Michigan football has finally learned and discovered the forward pass. And us Michigan fans, we cannot be more excited about the upcoming season. Again, our schedule, the rest of the time, except for Ohio State, is not that hard of a schedule. I think our two hardest games are going to be against Nebraska next week, and then probably USC. USC is looking very good as well, too. I don't know. I got to check if they're ranked now, but USC should be damn near ranked at this point. It should be at least 25, especially with how fucking bad Notre Dame's doing. But Michigan, baby. Michigan, we're so back. We opened up the offense. We learned that Bryce Underwood, guess what? Worth every single penny of that $12 million. Every single penny of it. Honestly, after that game, after that performance, after I saw Bryce Underwood, I don't know if you could sign college athletes to a 3-year deal, but sign him immediately. Boost up his salary, give him bonuses. I don't care. I might chip into Bryce Underwood's NIL money. And I'm broke. That's how much that man means to me and how much he means to this Michigan's offense and this Michigan team. Bryce Underwood, let me just read you the stats that I saw Underwood have on Saturday, approximately 11 a.m. He went 16 for 25, 235 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. That, by the way, if you guys watched the game, I doubt anyone watched the game, but if you watched the game, that interception was an interception I want to see. It's an arm punt. That's all it was. It was an arm punt. Throw that thing down the field. That's what I like to see. If my quarterback throws interceptions, but he's launching it down the field, that is something that I am perfectly okay with and perfectly comfortable with my quarterback doing it. Obviously, time and place, but we're playing Central Michigan. Throw that ball as deep as you can. Do whatever you want. We learned that Underwood, guess what? What everyone was telling us at the beginning of the season, this motherfucker could run. I saw a meme online, and I'm going to reiterate it. Why did it was like, we're gonna be conservative against Oklahoma, but open up the offense against Central Michigan? See, that part made no sense to me. I don't know if that was the sheer fact that Sharon Moore was not in the building and then Chip Lindsey was able to overtake the offense, or if there were conversations had before the game between Chip Lindsey and Sharon Moore. Chip Lindsey, who was our offensive coordinator, being like, all right, we're just going to run your offense. Fuck it. It's yours. Take care of it. If Sharon Moore comes, granted, we don't have Sharon Moore against Nebraska either, but if we have Sharon Moore afterwards and all offense reverts to how it was in the first 2 weeks, I think I might shoot my TV, and that's as far as I'm going to go because I don't want to do anything too crazy. But Michigan football is back, and I understand it was against Central Michigan, and Central Michigan is just sheerly not a good football team at all. But that's exactly how you respond to a game as shitty as the Oklahoma game was. And that's how you should beat a team like Central Michigan 63-3. That is exactly how a national championship contender team comes out and plays against a weaker MAC team. I mean, he had 9 carries for 114 yards. He led all of our backs in rushing yards. And we had Justice Haynes who rushed for 104. Jordan Marshall who rushed for 52 yards, 2 tuds. Should have had 3 tuds, but that one call got called back for a holding. We found out we have some receivers too. Number 9 caught a ball. Goodwin, McCulley, Shamaj Morgan. looked great as well too. I mean, I am very, 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 very. That's a lot of varies. I am very happy about how this Michigan football team looked on Saturday. And if we can continue, our defense is going to be good. Our defense is just going to be just fine. Our defense, I thought, played good against Oklahoma. Our defense and special teams was the only reason we were even remotely in that game against Oklahoma, besides the missed field goal that we had. I forgot what it was, but I know he missed an easy shot for our All-American kicker. If we're Michigan football, we still have a good defense. Is it as elite as 2023? Absolutely not. Is it a great defense? Yes, in college football, it's still a great. Michigan's defense is still great. I think Michigan's odds to win the Big Ten, if you're going to take that, that's not a bad bet. We haven't seen Oregon. They went into they played, Northwestern. They beat them pretty handily, although they didn't blow them out like people expected them to. Penn State has still been playing, whatever. We haven't seen this Penn State-Oregon game coming up in week 4. I'm going to talk about on the Thursday show, so I'm not even going to get into that. But that game is going to be a big tell-all on who is going to win the Big Ten. Because as good as Ohio State has looked the last couple weeks, Texas also has just sucked. So I think that Ohio State against Texas win doesn't really say. I think that game said more about how bad Texas was going to be than how good Ohio State was going to turn out to be. So we still don't really know that much about Ohio State. I think Ohio State's next big test is going to be against Penn State. And if Ohio State can just beat Penn State like they've done in the past every single year that Penn State's been hyped up, then we can just only assume that it's Ohio State's Big Ten to lose. Have they lost the last 4 years? Yeah. Shout out Michigan. But anyways, the rest of college football that day, we had some decent games. LSU, Florida, we just found out that Lagway, all these quarterbacks that were hyped up at the beginning of the season, Lagway, Arch Manning, they're bad. They're not good. I hate to break it to you guys. Even a guy like in South Carolina who got hurt, Sellers, not as good. A lot of Heisman contenders falling through. I think John Mateer is actually the Heisman favorite now. And it's not like John Mateer has done anything incredible. I mean, he had a great game against Michigan, but Michigan's offense was basically non-existent that entire game, so he had the entire, game to basically do something with it. John Mateer, I still love John Mateer. I'm actually a massive fan of John Mateer, too. I loved him at Washington State. Washington State produces some damn good quarterbacks. Washington State might be the new QBU, but in parentheses, only for transfers. I don't think that's crazy to say. In the last 5 years, that's an accurate statement. They've produced 2 of the best transfer quarterbacks, one in Cam Ward that went to Miami, and then one in John Mateer, who is now at Oklahoma. But LSU also looked crappy. Their offense looked crappy. Nussmeier he's not the second coming of Joe Burrow. I think all of these LSU fans, all of these SEC fans need to just admit that Nussmeier is not the second coming of Joe Burrow. I hate to break it to you guys. He's just not. He's a damn fine quarterback, but there is nothing. He's not Joe Burrow special, is what I kind of want to say. We had a game that I was looking forward, and the next game I want to talk about, I was really looking forward to this game. That's South Florida versus Miami. Miami took care of business. They're good. Miami's a very good football team this year. I know at the beginning of the season I said typically Miami's just constantly overrated. Carson Beck has looked incredible this season. That entire team, I mean, their running back Fletcher Jr. had 16 carries for 120 yards. They look good. They dominated South Florida. They never gave South Florida a chance to get in the game. The halftime score was 28-6, and they added on. It was 35-6 going into the fourth quarter. So South Florida never even had a chance. I still think South Florida should be, if the playoffs started today, I still think, even though South Florida has one loss, due to the fact they beat Boise State as handily as they did, and they beat Florida it's not like Florida should have won that game at all. That game was never a doubt that Florida should have won. I still think that South Florida might still be the best team outside of the Power 4 conferences. I don't know, maybe Tulane, but other than that, I don't see another team being as good as South Florida or having the resume as South Florida. It's going to take a team to go undefeated and have one decent win. to overthrow what South Florida has if they do finish at 11-1. As long as Florida doesn't finish the season 2-10, and Boise doesn't have a rest of the shitter. But I think Boise played good in their bounce back game as well too. I'm not 100%, but I think Boise did blow out their next team. But what college game day was the biggest game of college football on. Well, yeah. If you're gonna combine the seeds and make it the lower score, that would be Georgia versus Tennessee. And this game lived up to all of the hype. I feel bad for Tennessee. I wanted to hear Rocky Top so bad at the end of the game. I wanted to see fans storming the field in orange. It's a sight to see in Knoxville, but we didn't get that. You got to make that field goal down the stretch, but he made the wrong field goal. He made the overtime field goal, didn't make the one in overtime, but what a fucking game. Georgia didn't deserve to win that game, but Georgia is good enough to win a national championship this year still. I think Georgia might have moved into the top 5, but Georgia is definitely good enough to win a national championship this year. I know it's not. They were ranked at 6, so there's still teams I still think they're better than Miami. They're either going to be better than Oregon or Penn State. We're going to find out this week. I don't think Ohio State is as great as, they're not a typical 1 seed like Bama or Georgia has been as a past, where it's like, okay, that team's going to win it all. There's really no competition outside of that. This year's not like that. It's not like Ohio State is the clear-cut favorite to win the national championship. They are, I think, probably the favorite to win it right now. But there's nothing that I've seen out of Ohio State that has led me to believe that they're not beatable at all. 1, they have to beat Michigan, and 2, they still have to play Penn State, and they haven't even gotten in a conference schedule. And like we've seen, Texas has just looked so poor the first 3 games that win just isn't as good as people think it is. But I feel bad. Tennessee's, I think right now, I might have to recheck Tennessee's schedule, but they're definitely a playoff team. I mean, Aguilar, he's the guy in Tennessee. He's as good as Hendon Hooker was at Tennessee. He gives them a dimension that fucking Nico never gave them, which is he can use his legs, he can throw outside the pocket. I mean, we went 24 for 36, 371 yards, 4 touchdowns against a tough Georgia defense. I feel bad for Tennessee. They should have won that game. That would have been... If Tennessee won that game, they were for sure a college football playoff team. Now they do play in the SEC, where it is very easy to go 9-3. They're going to have to win a couple more close games. I think Tennessee is still a playoff team, though. Other games that I'm looking at, like I said, Texas, come on. Arch Manning, he's going to be there for another 2 years. The other game, Texas A&M and Notre Dame. I am so ready for the 10-2 Discord. I mean, this segment is specifically for you, Austin Videlka. For when he starts bitching and moaning at the end of the season, when Notre Dame finishes the season 10-2, they're going to say they're the hottest team in America. They've won the last 10 games. What do you do? What do you do with the 10-2 Notre Dame team at the end of the season? I'm going to clip this and put this on YouTube. I'm going to clip this and put this on my TikTok. And I need people to respond to me. What do you do with a 10-2 Notre Dame team at the end of the year? They lost their 2 toughest games. I don't think they're going to play a ranked team the rest of the season. Maybe if USC's ranked at that time. But Notre Dame, they're going to finish 10-2. Let's just all admit it. Let's all look each other in the eyes. Look yourself in the mirror and tell yourself or tell your buddy that Notre Dame is going to go 10-2 and we are going to be dealing with this exact situation I just played out in, 10 to 12 more weeks. What are we doing? Well, are we putting Notre Dame in? Are we putting a 10-2 Notre Dame in or not? Let me know. Let's start the debate now. We might as well start it now because we're going to have the debate in a couple weeks anyways. So, and also my other point about the Notre Dame Texas A&M game is that these programs, was it on CBS or NBC or whatever program it was? People are always talking about. There's commercials now about don't blame the player for betting. Don't harass a player. Don't do all that shit. Let's be nice to these athletes. And then they proceed to show that poor Holder who dropped the ball like 80 times in the last 5 minutes. How are you going to sit there as a national program who promotes like mental health and not ripping on these athletes because your bet didn't hit or your parlay didn't hit? Like you're a fucking loser if you make fun of these athletes. And then you go and show him on national TV every single time there's a break in the action. I mean, that guy got more TV time than the fucking actual game. I felt so bad for that Notre Dame holder. I know he's a backup quarterback as well, too. But just quit fucking showing him on TV every 5 seconds. I mean, you're just going to make the kid's life miserable. And then I got to listen to a fucking commercial about how not to make fun of a kid because he lost me my fucking parlay. But you're over here fucking showing this kid 1,000 times in the last 5 minutes. That was... in itself was absolutely hilarious, but so uncalled for a national program. We all understand that that's the kid. We all understand he's going to sit there with a face of, like, disappointment and dismay. Like, he probably hates his life in the last 5 minutes. He was just praying to God the entire end of the game, like, please win this game, Notre Dame. Please, I'm going to cry. Everyone in South Bend knows his face now because of your fucking program, essentially. And I genuinely felt bad for the kid. And then on the flip side, though, Texas A&M they're pretty good this year. I still think Notre Dame... the thing is, I still think Notre Dame is a really good football team. Like, they are probably a top 12 team that just so happened to lose 2 games at the end of the season. That's going to be... That is my notion right now, is that Notre Dame should be in the college football playoffs right now if they finish 10-2. They lost their first 2 games, very close games, very tight games, but Notre Dame as a team is a top 12 team in college football. There you go, stamp it right now. That is my argument. I'm sticking with that. So if anyone asks me what my argument is in 12 weeks, that's exactly what my argument is going to be. And I'm just going to clip that too and just respond to anyone who asks me. And then more into college football as I scroll down. There were actually a lot better games and more talked about than I thought. I didn't write any of this down. I'm just going off the top of my dome. I watched a lot of these games. Vanderbilt versus Vandy versus South Carolina. Once Sellers got hurt, game was it basically opened up. Vandy's a pretty fucking good team. I hope they're ranked. They deserve to be ranked in the top 20. Fuck the top 25. They deserve to be ranked in the top 20 with the way they absolutely obliterated South Carolina. I understand Sellers got hurt. Whatever. Their quarterback, what is it, Pavier? I forgot how to say his name. I didn't have the game sound on. That was the game on the Octobox, but I am playing that volume. 18 for 25, 177, 2 tuds, maybe had a rushing touchdown. I don't know. I'm not going to click the box score. Don't care that much about Vandy. Vandy, hey Vandy, welcome to football. Shout out to Vandy for learning football. All I've known Vandy for is a nerdy school who could play baseball a little bit back in the day. But shout out Vandy for learning some football. Honestly, you Vandy heads out there, shout out you guys. Seriously. It's going to make the SEC more fun. I mean, these teams who are going to play Vandy, that used to be a walk in the park game. Now you're going, where do they play? Oh my God. It's not Knoxville. Is it Knoxville? Where's the party? Whatever. You're going to Bourbon Street in Tennessee and you're not looking to have fun anymore. You're looking to go to hell playing Vanderbilt. So shout out Vandy, man. Okay, last college football game I'm going to talk about. Let me make sure. I guess we do live in Wisconsin. Wisconsin sucks. Sorry about it. Ty Simpson may not be as bad as we all think because Wisconsin's defense is still pretty decent. Alabama is semi-back. Alabama still has a chance to make the college football playoffs, and they better. The only other game is the one on TikTok that I made an apology video about, and I still apologize for you guys, for me picking Clemson at plus 110 to win the ACC. I said that was one of the best investments you can make, sponsored by Luoma Financial. I promise you guys that Luoma Financial is not as bad as at investments as I am at telling you guys that Clemson should win the ACC. I know I told you guys that Clemson to win the ACC was the best investment you can possibly make, but it turns out that is false. That is why I don't listen to me for my investment knowledge. I listen to Luoma Financial. for all my investment needs. His number is 262-496-6310. For all of your financial needs, all of your investment needs and investment planning, you go and call him. Don't call me, apparently, because Clemson, there is a 0% chance they win the ACC now after watching that shitbag of a game. Haynes King is a motherfucking dog. We knew that after the first week, but he just confirmed that. I don't think Georgia Tech is going to make any noise in the college football playoffs or any noise anywhere. But Haynes King is number one dog in college football. The number one dog. Every time I look at his stat line, he threw 211, which is more yards than he normally throws for, and then 25 carries for 103 and 1 ton. Get the fuck out of here. This guy's a certified dog. Whenever it's 3rd and short, 4th and 1, game's on the line, I don't give a fuck. Get the ball in Haynes King's hand and let him be a baller. Let him just be a fucking dog. And let him go to work. And that's exactly what Georgia Tech does. And they were able to beat a Clemson team who is one of the most off-season overrated teams in the last, 3 years, because I'm not going to go that far back and argue with that. But shout out Georgia Tech for a massive win over Clemson. But yeah, that's gonna wrap up the games, though. I guess I will check the college football rankings right now. Of course, I'm out of water and my throat's getting dry. I got a little left. We're not, like I said, what I want. So before I do the college football rankings, I'm going to look through them quickly and tell you guys what I think, even though none of you guys fucking care. Is I really need a co-host. I'm about to move, not a co-host. Yeah, a co-host for like these early shows. I have Austin coming in every Thursday, but I need someone to come in Monday and Tuesday and banter with me. If I do end up moving to Milwaukee or Green Bay, like I plan on moving very shortly, I need to get a crew of people. Just some funny guys. I want to make it sort of like part of my take. But with the little, like, we're going to do different things than part of my take. This is my side hustle. This is my side job. If you just like talking ball and want people to hear your opinion, you can just come out of the Z-Watch show and I'll have you join. Please, if you want to be interviewed, you got a small company, you're a small-time guy or girl, feel free to get interviewed on the Z-Watch show. We got 11 subscribers right now on the YouTube. We have 22 followers on TikTok, almost at 1,000 likes, but I think I'm going to go more towards TikTok for more engagement, and then this YouTube, going to post 2 to 3 times a week. I'm hoping to do 3 times a week, but I do need more consistency out of myself and then viewership as well too. Once I get an audience, I think I'm going to do more consistently, and it's basically just going to be my second job that I'm going to make no money off of until I get hired by Barstool. That's the plan. Yeah, that's the plan, because right now it's tough to prepare for the shows that I'm doing if I'm not, actually, I don't have a consistent 9-to-5 job right now. I am serving right now, so my schedule's all fucked up. I'm working a lot on the weekends. That is simply because that is when I make a lot of money. All right, so the college football AP Top 25 rankings, as it should be, Ohio State at 1, Penn State at 2, LSU should not still be at 3. That should be Miami at 3. Oregon dropping down to 6. You played in Evanston, Illinois. Big Cat was right on Fox Noon, Big Noon kickoff. Yeah, it's tough to play going from, 60, 70,000 fans to, 10, 12,000 fans? I mean, even as a D3 football player, playing at our home stadium where there'd be, let's say, 6,000 fans there, way more than that most of the time, but we'll just go 6,000 for right now, and then dropping down and playing a game in front of, 1,000 people. There's such, a lull. Just an emotional, lull that hits you, and you're just not going to perform as well playing in front of less people because the game doesn't feel as hyped up. The hype and the emotion comes from your sideline specifically then. It doesn't come from the crowd at all. The crowd plays a lot more of a factor into the game than people think. Or just the average person might think. The crowd plays a massive factor. So Oregon dropping down to 6 is a little ridiculous considering LSU looked not that good against Florida. I think Florida is just more ass than, it's just typical overrated Florida at the beginning of the season. That's all it is. Miami at 4, even though they have 2 good wins, should be higher than LSU based on their resume. Georgia at 5. Georgia should be ranked above LSU. Oregon, LSU, fight for that 5th spot, whatever. Florida State at 7. I don't know how they moved up Did they move up 3 spots without playing the game? I think they did. I don't know how the fuck they did that. I guess Texas has looked so bad they dropped down to 8. Texas should not be a top 10 team. I'm going to say that right now. Illinois at number 9. Illinois, I don't know. Illinois is just at number 9 because they were a high preseason ranking and they just have won the games that they won. Will Illinois make the college football playoffs? No. Will Illinois have any chance to win the national championship game? Absolutely not. Are they ranked in the top 10 for the first time since I don't fucking know? Absolutely. So shout out Illinois. Round of applause for the entire state of Illinois for your top 10 ranking. I hope you guys enjoy it as long as you guys can before your season ultimately ends up in an 8-4 or 9-3 season. Next up, we got Texas A&M. Sure, SEC team 3-0. Had a good win against Notre Dame. Oklahoma 3-0. I do agree with that. I just love John Mateer as a Heisman favorite. I think Oklahoma, we're going to see. A lot of these SEC teams, we don't know until SEC play happens. I'm a Big Ten guy, but I still respect the hell out of how, good and deep these SEC teams are from top to bottom, essentially. Like, the bottom of the Big Ten is a lot worse than the bottom of the SEC. Now, the top of the Big Ten right now is a lot better than the top of the SEC. But, like, that, even in the SEC, like, I'll even start with Georgia and go, pick, 8 teams in the SEC. Those are all very competitive games, no matter who it is against. You can pick Georgia against the top 8 teams in the SEC, and it's going to be slightly competitive. Now, Georgia will probably win those games 8, 9 out of 10 times, but those games are going to be very competitive. It's not going to be, Georgia just can't show up and it be a walk in the park, easy win. That just won't happen with the SEC. So we'll see about Texas A&M as well as Oklahoma being 10 and 11 very shortly. Iowa State at 12, they are 4-0. Whatever, you just gotta have to respect the resume of Iowa State, even though, whatever. Iowa State at number 12 it's tough to argue this early in the season. Ole Miss at 13. Ole Miss is not a playoff team. Alabama jumping up 5 spots is pretty insane to me. The fact that Tennessee should be ranked above Alabama. Tennessee, besides the score, beat Georgia in that football game, while Alabama got their socks absolutely blown off their fucking ass against Florida State. So the fact that Alabama is ranked above Tennessee and even Utah is kind of ridiculous to me. Texas Tech has looked very good. Georgia Tech deserves to be ranked. Again, I don't think they're going to make much noise in the playoffs, but they just deserve to be ranked at 18, just what the wins they've had and how they've done. Indiana is just going to be sitting around at that 19 spot until they have to play someone, and then they're going to lose and be out of the top 25. Vandy is finally ranked at 20, so they are in the top 20. Good for the committee. Will they be higher than 20? Absolutely. 20 is not going to be the highest rank that Vandy is the entire season. Mark my word on that. That is a Z-Watch show guaranteed. Michigan at 21, they went up 2 spots. If we can run that offense, I know I talked about it in the early portion of the show, if we can run that offense like normal, then yes, Michigan is going to be a threat in the college football playoffs as well as the Big Ten. If we revert back to our old offense, absolutely not. Get them the fuck out of the top 25. But Michigan does deserve to be ranked 21, though. I like that spot for Michigan. I don't think we deserve to be ranked any higher, just the way we looked against Oklahoma. But we don't deserve to be ranked lower. 21 is a fair ranking for Michigan. I can't argue with that. The way we've looked in the first 3 games, can't argue with that. Auburn is undefeated. Shout out them. Same with Missouri. 3-0 at 22 and 23. The Notre Dame at 24. Start the discussion right now. The fact they're still in the top 25 after 0-2, you know they're going to squeak them in. It's just going to happen. They drop 16 spots. USC, hey! Notre Dame does have a ranked team. USC at number 25. And then outside of that, BYU, South Florida, South Carolina, Mississippi State. Shout out Mississippi State, shout out them, honestly. I'm a big fan of Mississippi State, I can't hate. They got a guy named Brandon Walker, who I watch a little bit. Shout out him. This is a lot of talking for 29 minutes. I'm not going to lie. I need a co-host, guys. I'm 30 minutes into this show, and I've been rambling by myself about college football. I need people to talk to on Mondays or even Tuesdays. I just need people to recap the games with me. I want a guy who can make it recapping, but also funny. I want this show to be funny, and it's tough to make it funny by myself because when I have topics about football, before I'd have to write down jokes. I don't really have many jokes. for you guys. But yeah, that is our little college football wrap up. Now I will do Z-Watt's thoughts on the NFL games. Z-Watt's thoughts on the NFL games. Now mainly I'm just doing this. I don't know, the NFL games, whatever. I watched most of them. I worked all day Sunday. Took a break. Was able to watch Witching Hour. I'm gonna clip this one. The NFL Witching Hour on September 14th, 2025 was the best witching hour we have had in the last 5 years. Prove me wrong, please. We had, I'll name what we had. We had the Bengals-Jaguars game come down to the absolute wire. Back and forth game. We had the Giants-Cowboys, one of the greatest games in recent history that won't mean a lick of shit in the next couple weeks. But just a terrific game. We had the Lions and an absolute ass whooping against the Bears, just to send the Bears back home, back into their place. Let's let the whole city of Chicago know where they belong, and that is bottom tier of the NFL. We had the Patriots Dolphins, back-to-back special teams touchdowns. Are you fucking kidding me? Absolutely electric to end that game. And then we had the 49ers Saints as well too. Hey, Mac Jones, baby. Kyle Shanahan was right. Mac Jones is the guy for Kyle Shanahan. Just kidding. Let's get Brock Purdy back in ASAP. And yeah, that is why it was the greatest witching hour in the last 5 years. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I don't know of another one. Alright, that's my clip though. But about those games, I will start off with my favorite game. And this is why, in the introduction of the show, I said that Michigan football was back. And I didn't just mean the Michigan Wolverines. I meant the entire state of Michigan is fucking back, baby. Not only did the Michigan Wolverines develop a forward pass, discover what it was like to throw a football, but the Detroit Lions are absolutely fucking back. That was a perfect get-back game from my Detroit Lions. When you play an inferior team like the little old Chicago Bears, the 3-time offseason champs, you send them back into their hibernation period, back where they belong. Get those fucking Chicago Bears back into the little cave and back into the bottom tier of the NFL. And that's exactly what the Lions did on their get-back game. Jared Goff, back in the MVP discussion. Not crazy to say, huh? Not crazy to say. What's crazy to say is that Ben Johnson is going to turn the Chicago team into a playoff team this year. That's what's fucking crazy. Not as crazy as saying Jared Goff is fucking back. 23 for 28, 334, 5 tuds. Wow, a rating of 156. It don't get much better than that. Jahmyr Gibbs, back. David Montgomery, back. Sonic and Knuckles, back. Back in our receiving core, too. Amon-Ra St. Brown, 3 touchdowns, 115 yards, nice and easy. Williams, thank God we paid him. 108 yards. You guys want to let's play a trivia game. All right, here we go. Beep, 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 beep. Welcome back to Z-Watt Trivia. And our next question is, how many catches did it take Jameson Williams to have 108 yards and 1 touchdown? Anyone know? Oh, you, sir! You got the answer? Correct! The answer! It only took 2 receptions for my main man, Jameson Williams, to have 108 yards and 1 tud. Thank God we paid him. We have a guy, our hometown hero, Isaac Tesla. The man only catches one-handed balls. He's 2 for 2 one-handed catches. This guy's beautiful. Sam Laporta, whatever, 3 for 26. He's still an elite tight end. But the Detroit Lions are absolutely back. The only bright spot for the little old Chicago Bears was just Rome Odunze, I guess. He had a great game. Caleb Williams, although I should say, the game was that... Sorry. I'm yawning talking about these Chicago Bears. This is a tough side gig that I do, having to talk about shitty teams like the Chicago Bears. But this was not Caleb Williams' fault. His stats weren't as... that 1 interception he had was absolutely brutal, and he didn't play super well. But if you were just to look at Caleb Williams' stats, again, 19 for 30, 207, 2 tuds, He did have a 91.9 QB rating. It was not on Caleb Williams the reason they lost this game. That was just the sheer lackluster performance of the Bears defense. They just absolutely threw off a shitter, and that was just, they got caught in a bad situation as it was being the Detroit Lions get back game. They got caught in a bad situation. I genuinely feel bad for the city of Chicago. I have a lot of Chicago Bears fans, and it pains me. To all my Chicago Bears fans out there, it pains me to see you guys in pain. I'm a Detroit Lions fan, so I understand the pain. I've lived with it my entire life. I have not seen a successful Lions season up until 2 years ago, unless you want to count that 1 year in 2011, I believe. But other than that, I've not seen a successful year. So I empathize with you Chicago Bear fans, and I just want to let you guys know that I'm here for you guys. And I hope you guys can cure your annual football depression that you get, because I know you guys come from such a high in the offseason. Like I said, 3-time offseason champs. And then just a roller coaster downwards into reality as a Chicago Bears fans. Basically, I think being a Chicago Bears fan is worse than being an alcoholic. Because when you come down from alcohol, at least you can go to sleep and recover. You can't just go to sleep and get rid of the fact that the Chicago Bears suck. So I am truly sorry for you guys, and I empathize with you guys. You guys got this. Stay strong, Bears fans. Stay strong. Stay strong, Chicago. All right, moving on to some of the other games that we had. The Bengals versus Jaguars. You got to win that game if you're the Jaguars. Their defense played great once Browning came in the game. T-Law looked pretty good. T-Law looked very good as well, too. Bright spot for the Bengals. Jamar Chase looked good. But the only storyline here was, besides the Jags just should have won that game, was Joe Burrow's out for, I think it was at least 3 months. That's probably the worst possible news that you could have as a Bengals fan. You would rather lose that game as a Bengals fan than not have Joe Burrow be hurt. That is, every single Bengals fan on the planet would agree with me. What that statement was at 3 weeks, so 4 games, 12 games. He's basically out until the end of the season. So he might come back the last couple of games. We'll just, Jake Browning, is he the guy? That's basically what it comes down to. This Bengals defense is going to have to step up the rest of the season. I don't know. Jake Browning, whatever. We'll see how he looks when he actually has to start. It's always tough to just get thrown in a game you weren't expecting to play. So I'm never going to judge a backup. I mean, I guess that's their fucking job. But I will never judge a backup quarterback on his ability to lead a team the next couple games based on how he played coming into the game, and I don't know, say just the middle of the third quarter. I'll never do that to a backup quarterback. I understand that's his actual job to be a backup quarterback like that, but being a backup quarterback, just everything is a little different than being a starter when you know it's your team, like you're the leader of that team for that specific day. So we'll see what he has. I don't know what he has, but we're about to find out. Next game, Giants-Cowboys. Russell Wilson, shout out him. He basically saved any type of slander he got. Yeah, they lost the game. But Russell Wilson extended his own season by a couple of games. I think they were expecting Russell Wilson to fall apart. I think the Dallas Cowboys defense is not good this season. The Dallas Cowboys offense is absolutely elite. We saw 41 points scored in the fourth quarter. Love to see that. Like I said, this was the greatest football game by far this year. That won't mean shit later on in the season, but we got to watch great. We just watched a great football game. That's what we got. I mean, the Cowboys are now 1-1. Giants went to 0-2, but just an elite football game. We got to see prime Russ. If you were a Seahawks fan back in 2013, around that time, you probably got wet dreams that entire night after watching Russell Wilson just throw absolute beautiful moon balls down the field. Now, was him throwing the moon balls at the end of the game the reason they lost in overtime? Absolutely. But there's no shot they're in that game if Russell Wilson just says to himself, fuck it, I'm just going to throw the ball deep to Malik Neighbors every fucking play. I mean, that's how they were able to come back in the game and stay in the game and ultimately take it down to late in overtime when the greatest kicker in the league right now, Aubrey, just drilled a game-winning field goal. That guy is a psychopath. Tomlin called Boswell a fucking psychopath. No, Aubrey might be a better psychopath than Boswell. But yeah, great game. Cowboys offense is legit, though. Cowboys offense is very fucking good. They just don't... I think... This is my take. The Cowboys offense is so fucking good. All the Dallas Cowboys need is an elite pass rusher, and I think the Dallas Cowboys can make the playoffs and make some noise in the playoffs. So once Dallas gets that one key edge rusher, it'll change their entire season up because that Dallas offense looks like a Super Bowl offense. But once they trade for an elite pass rusher, I think Dallas Cowboys will be able to make a Super Bowl push this season. Who that will be? We don't know. Just kidding. It was Micah Parsons. Fucking idiots. They gave him away to the Green Bay Packers, who, if I'm a betting man, are my favorites to win the NFC. After watching the Lions, we're going to get our get-back game against them, hopefully sooner rather than later. And you could always just say the Eagles are just the safest bet to win the NFC. But fuck that. Who doesn't love a good old-fashioned Packer bet? Alright, anyways, moving on. Rams, Tennessee, whatever. Cam Ward looked decent. Cam Ward is going to be a just fine quarterback in the NFL. He still needs more help around him. Like I said, with the Rams, as long as Stafford stays healthy, they're going to have a chance. That is my only insight on that game. Stafford stay healthy. If Stafford stays healthy, the Rams are going to be a fucking problem coming into playoff time. Okay. I honestly don't care if Stafford gets hurt weeks 6 through 12. Who fucking cares? If the Rams make the playoffs and Matthew Stafford is healthy, they're going to be a tough out. They're going to be an extremely tough out. Because they won't be a fluky team that makes it. They're going to make a team being a good team, and then having that type of caliber as a quarterback, yeah, they're just fine as long as Stafford stays healthy. Patriots versus Dolphins. Besides it being an absolute terrific game, back-to-back special teams touchdowns, which I don't know when's the last time we've seen that. I haven't. I don't know. Tua didn't even have that fucking bad of a game. My one takeaway from the Dolphins-Patriots games is that being a teammate of Tyreek Hill's absolutely fucking must suck. All that guy does is bitch and moan the entire game. And he's not as good as a receiver as he was when he was on the Chiefs. Like, by the way, Tyreek Hill, you're a part of one of the worst trades of all time. Because of how you've just been bitching and moaning about a cancer to that team. Now, I understand the Miami Dolphins absolutely suck around you. So you bitching and moaning, you have great points around you bitching and moaning. But he's just a nightmare teammate. When Tua overthrew him and you're going to go act like that, like tell your coaches to get me off the field, I can't handle this. Like, that's just such a poor teammate thing to do on any level. Any level. You don't see that in high school, college, pee-wee. Like, that is just such a poor way to act. I understand you're frustrated. You wanted the ball in your chest. He overthrew you. You guys weren't on the same page. But holy fuck. You don't show up your quarterback that fucking badly. If you're not, like, shitty fucking teammate, great player, shitty fucking teammate. He'd just be a nightmare if I was a quarterback to have as my teammate. I mean, this guy was talking shit about Patrick Mahomes, will be arguably the greatest quarterback of all time, and Tyreek Hill was bitching and moaning about how Patrick was not getting the ball and shit like that. Just a fucking ungrateful, terrible teammate Tyreek Hill is. Terrible. But he's fucking fast as shit and good at football, so he's doing way better in life than 99% of us, so who am I to talk shit about him? But I just don't think he's just a good... Yeah, he'd be a fucking annoying ass teammate. We've all had teammates that you fucking know they suck as a teammate, but they're just better at football than most of you guys. So they're going to get not only special treatment, but they're still going to play, so you're just going to have to deal with them. And they're not cancerous enough, or they don't do anything stupid enough to get kicked off the team or stuff like that, so you just kind of let it slide. That's basically Tyreek Hill. But yeah, on the Patriots side, the Patriots are going to be a playoff contending team as well, too. Shout out Drake May. Drake May is a solid fucking quarterback. I like watching Drake May play football. He went 19 for 23, 230, 2 tuds, and then ran for another one as well, too. Drake May, yeah, solid quarterback. Again, that draft class of 2024 might go down. As long as Caleb Williams can pick it up a little bit, that might be the best collection of quarterbacks in its totality. Like, J.J. McCarthy struggled last night, so maybe put a pin in him. But we'll say J.J. McCarthy, Michael Penix, we have Drake May, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and, Bo Nix. Did I say it? Yeah, Drake May, Michael Penix, J.J. Daniels, Williams, Penix, and Bo Nix too. Yeah, that might be the greatest collection of 7 quarterbacks ever drafted. I'm trying to think of other ones. Like, you can go through drafts where it was very top heavy, and you might have drafted 2 of the best players, but very top. But like a collection of the 7 best quarterbacks in one draft, that might be the best draft that we've seen in a while. And the best one right now being Jaden Daniels, but it is open for discussion. Drake May is playing damn good. Bo Nix has a lot of potential. Michael Penix played decent. He's the franchise guy in Atlanta. J.J. McCarthy, he's only played 1 good quarter out of 8, so whatever. We'll skip to him. All right, anyways, moving on. I don't want to go that in-depth with most of these games. The 49ers versus the Saints. I do like... I talked about this with Austin. I do like how Spencer Rattler... I'm not going to call him Spencer Shattler anymore. Spencer Shattler played well enough to get called Spencer Rattler. I mean, that man's got a family. That's his last name. I get it. It's like the Russell Westbrook situation. Spencer Rattler played pretty fucking damn good. 25 for 34, 207, 3 tuds, ran for another 14. Spencer Rattler, I think the Saints just suck, but Spencer Rattler isn't as Shattler as people think he is. Just let him throw the ball 100 times a game. Austin was right. He threw for, 46 times last game. He threw for 34 times this game. It's either you just beat the fuck out of Alvin Kamara in the run game. He still had 21 carries, 27 total touches, so they're still beating the fuck out of him. Or you can just keep going with Spencer Rattler. I think the 49ers, I think Kyle Shanahan went out to prove a point that Mac Jones was his guy instead of Trey Lance and just had a better game plan. I mean, C-Mac, Christian McCaffrey is still, I argue, top 3 back in the NFL, top 5 NFL back when he's healthy automatically. It's tough to say he's the best running back in the league because there's Saquon Barkley, there's Bijan Robinson, you can even go Jahmyr Gibbs. But C-Mac is just so fucking good. It's just unbelievable. So, Mac Jones, 26 for 39. He had 3 tuds. Mac Jones looked good. Mac Jones revival. Now, when Brock Purdy gets back, is it his team? Absolutely. But I ain't going to hate on Mac Jones. Shout out him. He's got a long career as being a backup quarterback. Can't hate on that. That's one of the best jobs on the planet. All right, next game, Bills versus Jets. We're going to skip that game. We're going to skip that game, guys, because all it was just Josh Allen playing around with the Suns again. And the Bills dominated 130-10. Steelers versus Seahawks. Sam Darnold is going to be a damn good NFL quarterback. I'm happy for Sam Darnold. I know I trashed him and said he'd go back to regular Sam Darnold. He's not. Will he be as great as he was in Minnesota? Absolutely not. But is he going to be a damn good, solid quarterback for the Seattle Seahawks this season? Absolutely. Will the Seahawks have a chance to make the playoffs? Absolutely. Will they make the playoffs? Absolutely not. But they'll have hope. So, in Seattle, you guys have hope this season. The Steelers, A-Rod looked okay. Blah, blah, blah. I didn't really watch that much of a game. Seahawks deserved to win that game. They just outplayed the Steelers. Steelers are going to be just fine, though. They're going to finish around 500 and barely miss the playoffs like they have the last couple seasons. Ravens versus Browns. Yeah, that was I guess another get-right game for the Ravens, even though everyone knew the Ravens were good, and that stands. I love that Dylan Gabriel was able to throw a touchdown at the end, though, so that got a little Twitter going, and who doesn't love to see that? All right, the next couple games. Fuck, I kind of have to talk about, what are we, 49 minutes in? Jesus fucking Christ. The worst part is, I won't even have 10 fucking views on this show, and I've been talking to myself for 49 minutes. This has been filmed in silence. Okay, let's get back to the games. We have the Colts versus the Broncos. We got 4 more games left to talk about, and then I'm wrapping up this show. All right, I need a co-host. That's all I fucking need. Jesus, is anyone going to watch this through? Absolutely not. Hopefully this was a little entertaining, because I won't shut the fuck up. Indianapolis Colts! My fucking speech impediment, too. Like, if I ever go on live TV and have to do this, I'm so fucked. Like, people are just going to make fun of me whenever I have a bad take because of my speech impediment. I just can't fucking talk, baby. Just can't fucking do it. Alright, we got Daniel Jones, who is looking to be the next elite quarterback in Indianapolis. Is he the second coming of Peyton Manning? Okay, I'm going to clip this on TikTok again, too. Alright, rank these quarterbacks for the Indianapolis Colts. Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Daniel Jones. Rank them for me. And by the way, before you rank them for me, Daniel Jones is second in the NFL in passing yards. Just a little heads up. Before you go down in the comments being like, that was the stupidest fucking question ever. It's easily Peyton Manning, Andrew Luck, Daniel Jones. Pretty positive. Daniel Jones has more yards through first 2 games than Andrew Luck ever had. What do you think about that, you fucking morons? Huh? Daniel Jones is absolutely the guy in Indianapolis, though. Yeah, what did I say? 316, 1 tud. Played great. Should they have won that game? Absolutely not. That was a bullshit call at the end of the game. I guess you can't lean to the center. We all know that. So the guy should have known it as well, too. Oh, here's Logan. Logan's back. I'm almost done filming my show. 49 minutes in. You ready to go work out, kid? This kid just got back from teaching. Shout out the future. Just reviewing some of these games right now.
You know what I caught today?
I already did my rants about Michigan. Yeah, segment. Logan teaches.
Kids learned about marijuana.
It's September 15th.
And
Why are they teaching that right now?
Because the kids need to be informed.
We were informed in like 5th grade with the Dare. The Lion. Remember the Lion Dare?
It's the Dare Lion.
The Dare Lion,
mascot.
yeah.
Deputy friendly.
Yeah, I signed that sheet and I have honored my signature.
You're a raging alcoholic.
I'm pretty positive the Dare from the Lion was, the Dare Lion was the drug guy. He was a drug lion.
He was a druggie.
Yeah, he didn't care about.
That was such a good game.
Oh, this is a great game. Daniel Jones is the man. That's what I was saying.
Danny Dimes drops him like it's hot.
Yeah, the coach
only
should
had
have
one
won that
tutty.
game, though. Yeah, 1 tutty.
Hey, can we all take a second, say a quick prayer, fold your hands, please?
Spell Bears.
Nope. Well, I could add them in there. Dear God, please allow Ben Johnson to resurrect this team. They need so much help. And please allow Baker Mayfield to throw 2 touchdowns tonight, as then I will win $200. Amen.
Amen. That was a great prayer.
Thank you.
Great prayer.
Come on, Baker!
What?
Did you do your preview on that game tonight?
On Thursday, yeah.
All right. What did you have?
On Thursday. We'll reiterate it. It's okay. Not many people are going to watch this show anyways.
You do take a lot of time to do something no one's going to watch.
This is a great side joke. Actually, my coworker came up to me and said, I was scrolling TikTok and I saw a clip of you talking sports. I was like, oh no. My TikTok's not bad, actually. I got a lot of engagement on my TikTok.
They got the Texans.
The Buccaneer. Oh, why'd you click on the Bucs there?
Because I need the Bucks.
You just clicked on the Bucs website. The Texans, their offense sucks. The Texans' defense is very good.
I know, that's why I'm a little nervy.
Yeah, they're going to be just fine. Baker Mayfield didn't have that good of a game against the Falcons, so...
Yeah, he still threw 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's going to be just fine.
I need him out there like prime, just gunslinging, go Sooners, telling Kansas to suck his nuts.
We got to go... I'll probably stay up for this game, too. Chargers, Raiders.
Is that something? There's 2 games tonight?
Yeah, I know, right?
That's clutch.
All right, let me get back to my... Are you going to stay in here for the rest? I only have 3 more games to talk about. I'm rapid firing. I spent a lot more time on Michigan football. That's why the people come here to watch me talk about Michigan football.
I'm going to go take these khakis off because I'm tired.
All right, can we go left, though?
Yes.
All right, back and buys?
Sure.
Back and buys. All right, I'll be down... Hey, quit using the sink, by the way. I wish I could show you. He flooded our sink. You flooded our sink.
It was flooded.
You did that.
I didn't use the sink today.
You just turned on the water and let it flood. Yesterday, I walked upstairs after you went upstairs.
Either.
You didn't use the sink
No,
yesterday.
it was flooded when I got back at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, when I
my
walked,
teeth in the
you went
shower.
up there, and then you came back down. I came up, and the sink was flooded.
Yes. All you have to do is pull.
He's blaming it on another roommate. The sink was fucking flooded. I wish I could show you. You know what? Fuck it. First ever, keep the door open live from the Z-Watch Show mobile. Z-Watch Show mobile. This is what my fucking sink looks like. You guys want to talk about classless?
We have a bird bath.
We have a fucking. Can you guys see that? A bird bath right there. In our fucking bathroom for no reason. We have a green sink too. Just a fucking shitty setup we got. This is poor. Start the championship DVD for this podcast, this show. I mean, that's the type of shit that I have to live with right next to my fucking studio. No one watches this fucking show anyways. God damn it. Fucking shitty setup because you fucks won't watch my show. You fucks won't subscribe. You fucks won't do anything. Venmo me. I'm going to put my Venmo in the bio. Fuck. Alright, we're back. We're back talking sports. That's what this show is really about. My computer's got 1% too. I got about 3 minutes to look up stats. Fuck, I've been talking for 55 minutes. That's way too fucking long. Cardinals versus Panthers. Bryce Young threw 55 times for 328, 3 tuds. Panthers had a chance to win the game at the end. I still think the Panthers are very good. I'm happy for Bryce Young. He performed very well. Cardinals off to 2-0. Maybe Kyler Murray. I don't fucking know. The midget, man. There was a battle of the midgets. The battle of the midgets, and the thick midget won. The fat midget beat the little midget. The fat midget beat the skinny midget. There we go. Eagles versus Chiefs. Like I said in my hot take, if you guys watched last episode, the Kansas City Chiefs will not be making the 2025 NFL playoffs. Now, the injury to Joe Burrow is making that take a little less reliable, but the Chiefs just don't look like themselves. They normally win these close games. That's back-to-back weeks they've lost close games. The Chiefs just aren't it this year. This is their hangover year. The Chiefs have gone on a 4-season bender. And they are so fucking hungover. It's insane. I mean, everyone here who's watching this has drank Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and had to wake up on Sunday hungover, ready to shoot themselves in the face. That's exactly how the Kansas City Chiefs football team is right now. They've been to the Super Bowl. They've been out having fun the last 4 years. This is the year where they just recover. They drink a lot of Pedialyte, and they don't make the playoffs. All right, last game to talk about before my computer dies and before my voice runs out. I probably won't be able to talk the rest of the day because I've been talking for an hour straight. We have the Atlanta Falcons versus the Minnesota Vikings. J.J. McCarthy looked like absolute dog shit the entire game. I was hoping that he would, in the fourth quarter, make some type of resurrection. Like, let's go, J.J., we got this. You're the man. But he never did. They had a 4th and 1 in their own territory at their 30-yard line with about 7 minutes left. You could tell, I think it's tough to say. I was at my TV. I was watching the game with some Vikings fans, like my roommates, and they were like, you gotta punt that. You're inside your own territory, like, it's stupid. You're down 2 possessions with 7 minutes left. The way the Atlanta Falcons were running the ball, and Atlanta was moving the ball with ease, they just couldn't score in the red zone. I mean, that field goal kicker, had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 made field goals. So they did get the yards. They were moving the ball with ease. I mean, Bijan Robinson, he was absolutely electric that entire game. He ran for 143. I think they should have went for it. That's the only miscue I think the Vikings had. Besides, it also wasn't all on J.J. McCarthy as well, too. The Vikings' offensive line is an absolute fucking shambles. They had 3 offensive linemen out at the end of the game. They had 2 out most of the game. J.J. McCarthy not only didn't have any time, but he also missed a couple throws. That slot fade that he missed, that was a bad throw. You got to hit your guy. Just have to. He missed another one, I think, to Justin Jefferson, where it should have been a first down. On a third down, he threw it low, ball bounced. J.J. didn't look that good. He was probably rattled with the offensive line. The Falcons were throwing exotic defenses at him. Just a recipe for a bad night of football. He did just have a kid, too, so I'm not a dad, but I feel like once I have a kid, my mind's going to be more focused on my actual kid than whatever job I have. So I'll give JJ a pass for that one. Again, he is still coming back from a brutal injury last year. So, whatever. The Falcons won 22-6. I think the Vikings are going to be just fine the rest of the season. I think the Falcons are very good, too. They lost to a tough Buccaneers team who I still think, if the Packers weren't so fucking damn good, I still like the Bucs to win the NFC. That's like my bold take. It's not going to be a hot take. That's my bold take. But yeah, that wraps up my little preview of this weekend. We got the Bucs versus Texans tonight, the Chargers versus Raiders tonight. I think those are 2 decent games. I'm not high at all on the Texans offense. I think they're absolute shit. The Texans are favored. I would absolutely bet the Buccaneers tonight money line. I think that's damn near almost free money as long as Baker Mayfield and the boys show up, because the Texans defense is very good and CJ Stroud just hasn't hit his stride since his rookie season. And then Chargers versus Raiders, that's also going to be a very good game as well. It's only a 3.5 point spread. Chargers should win this game, but I love the Raiders. I think the Raiders are going to be one of those teams. It's going to be tough to beat the Raiders. The Raiders. It's going to be tough. A 9 p.m. game. I guess it's probably 6 o'clock over there. But a 9 p.m. game in Las Vegas for the Raiders. Geno Smith slinging that thing. Pete Carroll chewing gum on the sideline. That's going to be a tough game for the Chargers to win. I would not be shocked if the Raiders won, but I still like the Chargers in this game. But yeah, that is going to wrap up the little quick preview Monday, Tuesday episode of the Z-Watch Show. I hope you guys enjoyed a little banter. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully I'm going to clip a lot of this and put it on TikTok where I hopefully get a lot more engagement. I have now, computer's dead now. I have almost 1,000 likes on TikTok, so thank you guys for, actually being involved in my TikTok. There's some of them when I mainly react off, mainly Michigan football that people comment back to and react to, so I do appreciate everyone commenting, liking, the engagement I get. I do enjoy all of that. I do. This is going to be my side job for the next couple of years. I want to stay consistent with it, and then hopefully I'm not going to put all my eggs in one basket because I know I have to get getting a real job and actually making good money. But this is going to be my side job going forward, and then hopefully one day the dream would be to turn talking sports and laughing and joking and doing stupid shit into an actual real job, maybe working at Barstool or working at another company. But that is essentially why I started this show and why I'm going to consistently post the way I do and stay relevant on TikTok, hopefully get more of a Twitter following base. I just need to tweet more. I just need to be more consistent, and then hopefully this side job, which right now, I'm not factoring in the success of the show into any of my future, but it's just a little silly dream that I have. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy these Monday Night Football games we got here today, and yeah, I'll see you guys hopefully on Thursday with Austin back in the studio.